Once upon a time, a person named Rama lived in the city of Marburg. Rama had made many efforts before he was able to establish his own company. He was able to start a pet food production company after years of effort and achieve significant progress in the early days of the company's activity. His company prospered day by day. He received investment offers from many companies and even banks. One day he received a good investment offer. This investment offer was profitable enough to improve his living and working conditions, but it also carried a high risk because it required a lot of capital. Rama had received this offer from a newly founded company, which seemed to have the intention of doing powerful activities. Rama was strongly involved in this proposal, and this situation was tempting for him. Because it could give him a good profit, he always thought about whether to accept and trust this offer or not to accept it. Rama, thinking of the good profit he would get from this investment, accepted the offer of the newly established company. In the first few months, everything was going well and progress had very good until a virus called Marburg broke out. What is the Marburg virus? This virus is from the Ebola virus family and causes fever and bleeding. This virus can be transmitted to others through direct contact with the blood, secretions, organs, or other body fluids of an infected person, and surfaces and materials contaminated with these fluids are also carried of this virus. This incident caused business conditions to be disrupted and all businesses to be closed. And these conditions caused a lot of damage to newly established companies. Rama was very shocked by this incident and has recently invested in a project. His concern was completely reasonable because most of the companies were faced with irreparable economic recession. Rama followed the activities and events, but to prevent the spread of the disease, an official holiday had been announced for all organizations and companies, and these holidays had caused deep losses to Rama and his company. Because he had spent most of his capital on the new project, the official shutdown and stoppage of work caused to declare bankruptcy for the new company. Even Rama's efforts to change the situation were ineffective. After this incident, Rama suffered many emotional blows. He decided to go on a short trip to change his mood. He had heard from one of his friends about a beautiful island called Dundee and decided to travel there to improve his mental and spiritual conditions. After reaching the island, he took a short rest and left his residence to see the sights. After a few days, Rama was still unable to make a change in his mood. He had made many efforts to collect his funds, but now all his funds were gone. He was drowned in his past, and every time he thought about it, he was disappointed about the future. Rama decided to return from his journey, but he had heard that there was a beautiful temple near the mountain, so he wanted to visit that temple. He gathered the necessary supplies and needed a guide to go there. Usually, the guides divided people into groups of 15 people and received an amount from each person to show the way. And it took time for a group to gather and want to move towards the temple. Rama decided to take a guide and pay a lot of money to take him along to the temple. A guide named Apada accepted this request and they set off together. About to start talking, Rama introduced himself and told Apada about his condition. Apada also told Rama stories of the Buddha, stories of the difficult situations the Buddha had endured, and then taught Rama some Buddha style rules and methods for dealing with such situations. They were getting closer to the main destination when Apada remembered one of the famous sayings of the Buddha. He told Rama to never forget the saying, and that famous saying was, "Don't stay in the past, don't dream of the future, keep your mental focus on the present moment." At this time, Rama thought deeply, and Apada had reached his destination and he was explaining to Rama about the temple and Buddhist rules and matters. They visited the whole temple. Rama felt better. Rama became interested to researching in the Buddha and his way of life to get to know him better. Rama was able to control his mind and get back on track, although it might take a long time to get back on his feet. His mind had changed because he followed the Buddha's words. He tried to implement them in his life and made the famous words of the Buddha, which the Apada told him, a model for his life. Rama was strongly convinced that just learn from the past. Don't worry about the future. In fact, it's our actions today that make our future. I sincerely thank you for being with us until this moment.